Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, and we have here Mildred, who's becoming less camera shy by the moment. Hey, Mildred. Except now she is. Well, anyway, that was an achievement. You have no idea. Anyway, I'm here with a new recording of music by Jennifer Higdon on Naxos, part of their American Classics series, the Duel of 2020 for two percussionists and orchestra, and the Concerto for Orchestra from 2002. It's hard to believe 18 years has passed since she wrote the Concerto for Orchestra. It's like unbelievable. Higdon is a wonderful composer. I mean, she gets lots of performances. She's won all kinds of awards. Everybody is thrilled with her, and rightly so. She knows what she's doing. And the Concerto for Orchestra is an absolutely brilliant piece. This performance is by Robert Spano and the Houston Symphony. The other main competing recording is by Robert Spano with the Atlanta Symphony on Telarc. Remember that? It's coupled with Cityscapes, another lovely work. And how do you choose between them? Well, the Telarc may be hard to get your hands on because Telarc is in musical limbo, and this is easy to get your hands on. And one way or another, you really ought to hear the Concerto for Orchestra. It's in 5 movements. It sort of takes its cue, I think, from Bartók's Concerto for Orchestra in some ways, at least in overall shape. But of course, it's in a completely different idiom. It's tonal. It's brilliant. It's really amazingly well written for the orchestra with thrilling licks for everybody. Higdon is particularly good at the end of the slow movement. There's a fabulous, fabulous passage for the brass section that slowly builds up to a big climax. It's really, really well done. I mean, you can tell that she's enjoying using different sections of the orchestra, different soloists from the orchestra. The 4th movement is sort of a percussion extravaganza, and it ends with a bang, as you know, you'd think it should. Really a good piece. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it when I first heard it. It's held up awfully well. It really bears repeated listening. So for that alone, I think this disc is certainly worth considering. Now, the Duel is a premiere recording for, like I said, it's for 2 percussionists and orchestra, basically mallet percussionists, although they play drum things towards the end. I really did not like this piece. I'm sorry to say. Look, here is my problem with percussion. I'm a percussionist. I love percussion. But the truth of the matter is, as a solo thing, it doesn't work. Almost never. Almost never. You know, all a percussionist can do is choose different percussion instruments to try and create as much coloristic or timbral variety as possible. And you know, it's a doomed effort for the most part because percussion instruments are so limited expressively in terms of their variety of nuance and range and all of those things. I mean, it's fun to hear rhythmic drumming for 2 minutes, but when you're stretching it out for half an hour, in this case, you've got a single movement, 23 minutes and 50 seconds long. And even if you're using mallet instruments, I mean, which is what mostly they're doing here, marimbas, I mean, for the most part, it seems, it's just annoying after a couple minutes. You know, it's very virtuosic. It's very extremely quick and exciting. You know, it's like, you know, they're chasing each other all over the place. But, you know, the title is Duel. There is no tension in this music. And the reason there's no tension is because there's no expression in the music. It's all aimless virtuosity. Maybe it's not aimless. Maybe it has a direction. I don't know. I don't hear it. All I hear is 2 percussionists slogging away at their instruments with incredible technical bravura. And the soloists, let's give them credit for who they are. It's Matthew Strauss and Svet Stoyanov as the percussionists, and they're marvelous. They're absolutely marvelous. These people are so talented. They really are. But it only works, for example, in the 4th movement of the Concerto for Orchestra, which highlights the percussion. You can get away with it then for 4 minutes with other instruments. But here, holy cow, for 22 minutes of what? Why are they doing what they're doing? I just get no sense of that. Now, that could be Higdon's fault. The piece itself is sort of couched in a bland major key niceness throughout the entire work. And that could be part of the problem. You know, but what are you going to do with a marimba? How threatening can a marimba be? It has a dynamic range that runs the gamut from A to B. It has absolutely no possibility of lyrical expression. It has, you know, the same sound all the way through. It's just not an interesting or, in my mind, fruitful path for composers to pursue. But there are great percussionists out there. They want repertoire. They'll play it. I get all of it. I get all of it. But at some point, you got to sit down and say, okay, what musical qualities do these instruments offer me as an artist interested in creating an expressive masterpiece in large forms? And percussion just doesn't cut it. It almost never does. I mean, there are a couple exceptions that are interesting, but, you know, or that do better than others. You know, some composers have realized the challenge perhaps better than Higdon does here. But I don't think this is one of her stronger works. And I would just say, stick to the Concerto for Orchestra. You're in better shape. Now, you may like this duo-dual thing better than I do. You may be more, you know, marimbatively inclined than I am. But, oh my goodness, after 10 minutes of this noodling, I was ready to scream. It was just so annoying. And I'm sorry, that's how it felt. But, wow, the Concerto for Orchestra is fabulous. And the playing's wonderful, and the sonics are very good. It's all, you know, time will tell. That's the bottom line, right? Do we have a new classic, or am I just an old fuddy-duddy? You know, whatever you please. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.